gorgeous, isn't he?
He needs a name.
What about Dream Alliance? Is our dream, and we're all in it together, so Dream Alliance.
Dream Alliance!
Dream Alliance!
I know that Dream Alliance, the horse is played by a number of horses, a little behind the scenes secret, with Bo being the name of the main actor horse. So I'm curious, how was Bo as a scene partner? And truly, I mean, what makes a good horse actor? Because I'm not sure I know.
I think what makes any actor good is their ability to be present. And human beings have a tendency to just get caught in their thoughts. And this horse was incredible. It was really quite a profound connection because he just was able to listen. He was present, and it wasn't just in my mind. The entire crew was like, whoa, this is amazing, because we were really, really communicating and connecting. So I feel really grateful that I had an experience like this. I'd never worked with a horse in this way. I mean, I love horses. I've had some experience with horses, but it was quite emotionally intimate, you know, and my character has such love for this horse, and he becomes such a symbol of hope, not only for her, but for the entire community and ultimately the country. So it was pretty special, I got to say.
That's so interesting to hear that. I don't know, that you can connect with a horse in that way. I feel like we do as humans have a very special connection to horses. Like whenever you watch an old war movie and, you know, something blows up and a horse gets knocked over, like I feel that more than I do with the humans most of the time. I'm like, oh no.
All life is energy, right? And so once you get your monkey mind out of the way, I mean, animals are they're just there, you know. They're not kind of commenting on what's going on. They're just there for the experience. So it was really unexpectedly profound.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, on top of all that, horses also have the softest noses in the world, and I love to
Aren't they
pet them,
delicious?
so.
It's so beautiful. It's like velvet. Yeah.
You said the word community, and you know, of course, this is not fully a film about horses, but this is a film about a community, and I love getting to see this town and getting to know the people there. And you know, it's my understanding that basically everything was filmed more or less on location, and I wondered what your experience was like there, and what you took away from being in Wales.
Look, I've got to say, I never really had any intention to go to Wales. It wasn't like at the top of my travel hit list, and I feel so lucky to have gone there. It is an incredible country, peopled by the most spirited, gorgeous folk. It was one of the best filming experiences of my life. I mean, the story in itself is incredibly inspirational and like really very inherently joyous, but those people are so soulful, and they were so kind of receptive and supportive and inclusive. They sing at the drop of a hat. You know, some of the music in the film was written around us singing on set. So not only did we improvise songs that are used in the movie, but then those ditties were turned into sweeping kind of moments in the film by the composer. So it was a very organic way to create that soundscape. The landscape is stunning. It's jaw-droppingly beautiful. Like the place is just absolutely stunning. I don't know. I didn't have any great expectations of it, but it just blew me away, and I will always return to that country. It's really very special.
I love that you single out the music, because as I'm watching the movie, I was like, whoa, this has I was feeling that. That's some great stuff they've got.
I'm telling you, the Welsh, they can't help themselves. They sing all the time. That's just part of their nature. And it sounds like a big generalization, but they do. They all do. They all love singing. I was just looking at a video from the premiere. He had a dinner after the premiere in Sundance last year. Like there were maybe half a dozen cast members and, you know, crew, and everyone was singing around the table, like at the top of their lungs in a restaurant in Park City. And I was like, we are here. The Welsh are here.
And I'm glad you got to have that moment too before, you know, everything shut down. That's that's so lovely. It was a pretty
special premiere, I have to say. I mean, using the word special, but I think this film is really bloody special because the audience was so vocal. They were up, they were cheering, they were yelling. That you can't. Some of it is just so like the anticipation of the races, and just you know, the anxiety actually that is part of that was really infectious, and just, you know, it's, I don't want to give anything away, but you know, the joy of winning, the joy of those people, of this one woman's dream being realized, and for it to be taken to that level and celebrated on that level, I think is really important I think it's really important for people to remember that having hope actually will get you out of whatever, you know, lost feeling you might be in. It's been such a strange year. And I think it's important to realize that we have that power. You don't have to give up, you know, because I think we've realized this perceived kind of sense of control that we have is crap, and you know, we're just part of nature and we have to surrender to life. And
Yes.
and something like this, where she, you know, really makes a decision and is so determined, and it happens. It's just magical.
We lost our jobs, our community, even our pride. And then Dream came along and reminded us what life is like when you are old.